Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We're going to be taking a look at another set of comparisons today, and those two phones are obviously the brand new Samsung Galaxy S20, that phone that just came out. It's going to be taking the world by storm, and a ton of people are going to be spending their hard-earned money on it, and they might even have to take out loans for it because it's mad expensive. And the Samsung Galaxy S9, which is actually not the predecessor to the phones, but the predecessor's predecessor, which is pretty crazy. And last year when I bought the Galaxy S10, I compared it to the Galaxy S8, and I saw that there were huge changes. I mean, that it was crazy how many changes there were on the Galaxy S10, even from a Galaxy S9, and I guess we're going to be doing the same exact thing today. Now, I will say that I do have One UI 2 on my Galaxy S9, and since I installed One UI 2 and put in those gestures on that phone, that really changed up a lot of my experience with the Galaxy S9, and I think it's a very, very good phone overall. But again, the Galaxy S20 is the better phone. I mean, there's no comparison here. The Galaxy S9 is the better phone every which way you look at it. It has way more features, and there's no way around it. The Galaxy S20 is the better phone overall, whichever way you look at it. It has way more features. It's just the better phone. I know it's more expensive, but there's just so many more features with the Galaxy S20 over the Samsung Galaxy S9. And the main thing, probably hitting on the price first. I mean, the Samsung Galaxy S20 brand new costs $1,000. It's barely even out now. I mean, it's coming out tomorrow officially to a lot of places. So if you want to pick one up, you can get it from Best Buy or whatever. But that $1,000 price tag is crazy, and it's kind of comes, it's justifiable, I think, for a lot of people, but it's still a lot of money to pay for just a phone. With the Samsung Galaxy S9, it came out in 2018, so it's not a brand new phone anymore, and the phone has depreciated quite a bit. It's pretty insane how much this phone is gone now. So when it came out, it was about, $899 or whatever it was, $799 when it came out. The Samsung Galaxy S9, you can pick one up for on Amazon right now for about $280, which is a very cheap price to pay for a phone like this. I mean, keep in mind the $1,000 phone for the Samsung Galaxy S20. Look how much you're getting there, and look how much you're getting with the Galaxy S9 for $280. And if it was me, I would probably still say the Galaxy S9 has a better value per dollar. That's 100% a fact. You're getting so much more of a phone. You're getting a phone in general for that price. With the S20, you can barely pick up probably a couple cases for the Galaxy S20, to be honest. So if you want to pick up the S20 or the Galaxy S9 for the prices that I just said, I'll leave them linked down in the description below. They'll take you to Amazon, and you can get them from there and help support the channel at the same time. But looking on the fronts of both phones, the Samsung Galaxy S9 has a 5.8-inch Super AMOLED display. It is a 1440p display, which is really, really nice. And I think overall it was a pretty good panel. It does have a little bit of bezel at the top and bottom, but if you think about it, back in 2018 and 2017 with the Galaxy S8, when that panel was first designed, that was almost bezel-less, because at that time there was just so much bezel on phones, and Samsung kind of really took the initiative to start shrinking down the bezels on those devices. I know LG and all these other phone manufacturers did it first, kind of, but the S8 really brought that to a much larger scale, and I think they took it the furthest. And the Galaxy S9, it's not a crazy bezel. At least it's matches up the top and bottom. It's not disproportionate. So the Galaxy S9's panel, I think, is still very nice, and you do have a little bit of a Force Touch home button too, which is really funny because now Apple has kind of taken it out. You still have a very nice looking panel on the Samsung Galaxy S9, where in the Galaxy S20 you have a 6.2-inch dynamic AMOLED display. It is a 1440p display, which is really nice, and obviously that panel is probably one of the best panels I've ever seen in my life. It's a very good panel. There's very little bezel on the top and bottom. You just have a hole punch cut out in the front center, which is cool. Before it was on the side, which looked really weird, but this one is on the center, which I think looks really, really nice. And if you look at the Galaxy S9 and you look at the Galaxy S20, you can see the immediate differences. You can see how much more premium the Galaxy S20 looks over the Galaxy S9. And even the Galaxy S9 might even start looking outdated compared to something like S20, which is crazy. And that's a huge effect that the S20 has over the Galaxy S9. So in terms of the way they look and everything, the S20 looks better, but also it has two cool features. The fingerprint sensor is under the display on the S20, where the S9's is on the back. But the other cool thing is that we now have 120Hz refresh rate on that display, where the Galaxy S9 does not have any capability like that. And the S20, as far as I know, is the first Samsung phone to bring that feature, at least to a larger scale, which is really, really nice. So you have that capability on the Galaxy S20. With the Galaxy S9, we don't have it, and a lot of other phones, we don't have it either. And I do like the Galaxy S20 for doing that. That's one of my favorite features ever. And once I turn it on, even though it sucks up a little bit more battery life, I literally don't even care. It just brought so much functionality, and it's one of my favorite features of the Samsung Galaxy S20 for sure. Both have USB Type-C ports on the bottom, but the Galaxy S9 does have the headphone jack, which is cool. We don't have a headphone jack on the S20, but I think a lot of people are pretty much over it for the most part. And on the back, you can see a single camera setup on the Samsung Galaxy S9. With the Samsung Galaxy S20, we have a triple camera setup, which is a pretty big upgrade coming from a Galaxy S9, man. And like I've been saying, as long as you have a dual camera setup in 2020, I think you're set. The S20 has triple cameras, so I think we're even more set. Both phones have micro SD card slots, so you can expand that storage as much as you want to, and that really pretty much covers it up in the outside. Obviously, there's some similarities, but there's also some really cool advantages by picking up a Galaxy S20 over a Galaxy S9. Now, moving on and hitting on the software, the Samsung Galaxy S9 started off with Android 8.0 Oreo. We are able to get Android One UI 2 on it, which is what I have now on it, and it's been a pretty good experience overall. It's been, the features are really nice, the dark mode is really cool, and like I said before, having the gesture-based design is one of my favorite things, and it really kind of breathed new life into my Samsung Galaxy S9, which was really, really cool. Whereas on my Samsung Galaxy S20, it just started off getting software updates. It's on One UI 2 right now, and I think it's, handles it very well, and even One UI 1 was fine, and One UI 2 is just a kind of a small incremental upgrade, but with that gesture-based design, like I said, that's pretty much the major feature in my opinion. And in terms of longevity, the Galaxy S9, sadly enough, this is probably its last update. I don't think it's going to be getting another version of software, which is kind of dumb. Like I said, I mean, Samsung just does their weird thing with their software lifecycle. I feel like they could do much better. The Samsung Galaxy S20, though, is just getting started with software updates. So it's going to, start now, and it's going to last for much, much longer. And I think that's one of my favorite things about Samsung is that they temporarily support their softwares for, amount of time, and then after they're just like, okay, see you later, we're not going to support you anymore. Just like how they did with the Galaxy S8. The S8 could have easily supported One UI 2, but they didn't want to do it. So the S20 is definitely going to last you for a couple more years, so that's good, and it's going to last you much longer in terms of software than the S9, but still, after that software support, after 3 versions, it's probably going to be done. So don't expect to keep the S20 more than 3 years if you want to keep it. So that pretty much covers it up in terms of the software standpoint. Now, hitting on the performance side of things, the Samsung Galaxy S9 has the Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 chipset, an octa-core CPU, and Adreno 630 GPU, and there's 3 different models of the Galaxy S9, the 64, 128, and 256GB models, and all those models had 4GB of RAM. While the Samsung Galaxy S20 has the Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 chipset, an octa-core CPU, and Adreno 650 GPU, and there's only one model of the Galaxy S20, the 128GB model with 12GB of RAM. And what I can tell you about the performance of both phones is, first of all, the Galaxy S9 is the older phone, so don't expect it to be the craziest phone, and I did a speed test, and you guys can see my opinion on it, but I will be doing a separate full-on speed test between them. You guys can get a better idea. This is just like a bird's eye view type of comparison, and the Galaxy S9, I think, is still a pretty decent performing phone. It's not going to wow you. It's not going to make you switch from an iPhone XS or iPhone 11 to Galaxy S9. That's just not how it is, but I think overall the Galaxy S9 definitely held its own, and it's not completely unusable, and the animations with One UI 2 kind of make it feel a little bit smoother, but it's still, it's not like the fastest phone, but it's a pretty good performing phone. I think that's the best way to put it. Where the Galaxy S20 is the newest device. It's super fast. It's super, anything you do with it is going to be perfectly fine. And it's one of my favorite phones right now in terms of performance, and it beats the Galaxy S9 every single which way. It's pretty obvious. But the thing to keep in mind, though, is that over time, Samsung phones tend to, bog down and get slowed down more than a lot of my Pixel devices or even my iPhones, which is really weird. I saw my Galaxy S10 and I compared these two phones, and my Galaxy S10 looked super glitchy compared to the S20. Even my S10e looks super glitchy, so something about these phones, they slow down like crazy. Even my S9 is super slow, but it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. But in terms of performance, Samsung Galaxy S20 definitely wins here. Now, in terms of the camera, the Galaxy S9 has a single 12 megapixel camera on the back. You can do 4K videos at 60 frames per second, which is really cool. Where the Samsung Galaxy S20 has 3 cameras on the back, a 12 megapixel wide-angle lens, a 64 megapixel telephoto lens, then a 12 megapixel ultra-wide sensor, and that phone you can do 4K 60 as well. On the front, 8 megapixel camera with a 2 megapixel dedicated iris scanner camera. I never knew that. And the Samsung Galaxy S9 has a 10 megapixel sensor, and you can do 4K 60 frames on the S20, on the S9 only 1440p, which is still very good for a ton of people. But the biggest advantage, I think, for the back camera, let alone the extra camera sensors, which is probably the biggest thing, is the ability to shoot 8K videos, which a lot of phones, we do not have that capability. A lot of phones cannot shoot 8K videos. I don't know of any phone that can do it. Maybe there is, but at a grand scale like the S20 lineup, not that many phones live like that. that, and the S20 has that capability of doing that, which is super cool. So I'll do a whole separate camera test eventually, but between these two phones, the Samsung Galaxy S20 definitely wins in terms of the camera standpoint. Now, ending it off with the battery life, the Samsung Galaxy S9 has a 3000 mAh battery, the Samsung Galaxy S20 has a 4000 mAh battery, and between both, I mean, both of them have wireless charging, but the Samsung Galaxy S20 does have a reverse wireless charging, which is an amazing, awesome feature. That's definitely one of my favorite features of both phones, and what I can tell you about that is, for sure, not only does the Samsung Galaxy S20 have better battery life, but it also has the better battery features as well, and that's something you have to consider when picking up a phone. You want phones that will last you a long time, but also be able to, support other phones as well, and the S20 can wirelessly charge a Galaxy S9, which is really nice. So even with that 120Hz refresh rate, the Galaxy S20 will probably still win, because the Galaxy S9s, most of them do have degraded batteries. Some of them have, I would say about 99% of them have seen some depreciation in the battery. That's just the way things are. All batteries are like that. So between both of them, I'll probably give the edge to the Galaxy S20 for sure. Now, to kind of sum up the video and to answer the question, should you pick up a Galaxy S20 or save your money and get a Galaxy S9? Of course, I would recommend you to pick up a Galaxy S20 if you have all the money in the world. The Galaxy S20 is the way to go. You're getting much more value of a phone, and it's just a much better phone overall. But the Samsung Galaxy S9 still has a lot going for it as well. It's a killer phone still. If you can get the Exynos version and root it in custom ROM, then I guess you're set. But I think for sure for that $280, you can't really go wrong with the Galaxy S9, and I would recommend you even keeping it until One UI 3 comes out, because by the time that comes out, Galaxy S20 prices in the used market will depreciate even more. So the choice is yours, but I do think that the Galaxy S20 is the better way to go for the majority of you. So that pretty much covers it. Like I said, if you want to pick up either of these phones, links are down in the description. If you guys have any questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section as well. Hit that like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel, all those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate if you guys would check it out. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.